Hello, welcome to Geek Church episode 25. I'm no longer going to say our names because I've been redesigning the website, and I'll sometimes
redesigning it.
Yeah, redesigning it, and I just sometimes I have to watch the first part to kind of remember what the episode was or exactly what we're talking about. I'm just getting tired of hearing myself say I'm and he's, and so yeah, I'm like, shut up. So you know who we are by now. If not, welcome. Go watch my other episodes. You'll see who we are. And that was very awkward. So this is episode 25. We are changing the format up today. And from this day forward, well, episode 30 is going to be something a little different. But anyways, we're changing our format up. So we're actually going to have 3 segments. And we'll be and that can change a little here and there because we're basically now a Geek Friday show is our idea. It's as time goes on, as we get more resources, as we have more people, more stuff, we'll start doing more and more segments. But for right now, we have 3 segments. So there's first is the geek part of Geek Church. Right now, we're going to talk about some geek news. When I say geek news, if you look at our website, if you go there, geekchurch.net, that's new, by the way, geekchurch.net. Go there if you watch this somewhere else. Beautiful site. I'm using WordPress and some amazing templates and stuff there. I completely forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah. So we focus kind of essentially on like comics, predominantly comics, but essentially comics, games, movies, TV shows, tech, and then of course faith. And faith, sometimes we'll have articles on that separately, but for the most part, that's going to be less of it's going to be woven into other stuff. But so this is the first part. This is the geek part of Geek Church. Then we'll have a movie review, and then we'll come back from the movie review with the church part of Geek Church, and we're going to talk about some stuff there. And the church part's not going to be like a Bible study where we sit around and go, okay, let's discuss Leviticus 13:12 or something like that. I don't even know. I know, I'm going to go look that up too. I'm sure it's going to be boring. That's why I said Leviticus. It's going to be like how to deal with an unclean woman after she's had her period. But we won't go into that because it's weird.
That's not geeky.
It's not geeky. Most geeks, I mean, there's probably a lot of comic geeks who go, what's a period?
What's a woman?
What's a woman?
Thing they're speaking of?
So,
that's
anyways,
like a fantasy character?
I do have to say though, I am married. You, on the other hand, still haven't called that blonde waitress back.
I have not.
So, back to our...
Some of the ladies from the church would have seen otherwise this weekend.
Yeah, we had something, I don't know, I wasn't there, but some sort of something.
Yeah.
Well, he said orchestra, I didn't realize it was going to be like young people. I'm like, oh, okay, and so I ditched it, and apparently there were a bunch of young, I saw them loading, they were like, I'm like, these guys are like young, they're like 20
college,
something.
like freshmen and juniors.
Which is your age and almost my age, and apparently they tried to set him up with almost every girl there.
If they would have had my phone number, they would have been passing it around like crazy. I'm thankful that they did not.
Yeah, 'cause long distance, that would have been awkward. They're traveling all over. You need a local girl. So, like a waitress who happened to give you her phone number and he hasn't called. So you guys need to email us and like or comment on this episode and be like, everyone needs to be posting that if they think Jeff should or should not call this very cute waitress who left him her phone number like a month ago. It's kind of late now, but
Cynthia. No.
Or Jack Sparrow Lover 91. No. Okay, anyway, so our first article, our first tech thing. Hold on, the show hasn't officially started until I crack my drink. That was anticlimactic, and we've now started. Okay,
3 minutes, almost 4 minutes into it, we are now officially begun.
Well, the show doesn't start until I open my drink, and it's water today because we're doing this right before lunch, and I don't need to drink something right before I go to lunch, and I'm gonna have. I don't want. Anyways, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Geek news. Okay, so the first thing we're talking about is the PSN network, and I will say from now on, like today's geek news is kind of cobbled together a little bit because we're like, oh, let's go shoot it, and so we kind of had our stuff together. From now on, we'll be much more thorough with our stuff. So if you're like, this news is a little shady, or not shady,
it's a little shaky,
but like, yeah, it's not like, oh, it's a little hearsay, I guess the word I'd say, from stuff we've read and stuff. Like, I don't have, like, from now on we'll have them like printed out with all our details. We'll do a little more journalistic adventuring, I don't know. Anyways, as you can see, I'm drinking water because I don't need another monster. But PSN Network, of course, was down. I believe it was 24 days, I believe, is what it was down for. And, which, first off, I mean, we won't even get into Xbox, PSN, or whatever, so we'll just talk about the PSN network. It was down. That sucks for all the PS3 and PSN people. But now that it's back up, they have like some little goodies. Like they want like some stuff like, oh, we're sorry, here's some stuff. And some of them are cool, some of them are retarded, some of them like only matter if you know, other stuff. But the one thing I wanted to talk about was they're offering games. You get 2 free games out of a collection of 5. And from the review I was reading, like the guy was saying, because he went through all of them, and we'll post the link. I'll give the link to Jeff so he can post it if you actually want to read the article. Because there's other stuff, like some stuff with pro accounts and some free trial stuff, and some like movie and Avatar download stuff for the PS Home, just stuff like that. So if you want to read the entire article. But the main thing I want to talk about is the games, and I guess he was saying that the games were like really solid games. They weren't like crappy old bargain games that they threw out there. Like all 5 were really solid games. Like as example, Little Big Planet, Infamous was another one of them, and then a couple other, I don't remember them now, but the other, they were all like that level. Granted, they were older. You know, those aren't like new releases.
Yeah, but these are talking like you'd file them under like the PlayStation's greatest hits.
Yeah,
type
it's like
these are groundbreaking. Little Big Planet was ridiculously like amazing. Like
well, that was his
one of the
point.
most critically acclaimed games of 2010.
Yeah, that was his point. Is like he said he had all 5 of those games, so it didn't matter to him. But he wasn't mad about it. He was like, "This is awesome that they did that," because he said the chances of like, granted they're a little bit older, but they're amazing, and the chances of like everyone having all 5 of those games is gonna be pretty slim. And it's more of a list of games of like, I should have played when it came out, or I've been needing to get around to it.
And you just right after it came out, or you GameFly'd it or whatever, but you never got around.
And he's basically saying now this is your opportunity for these games that you haven't gotten around to yet, but you like have needed to. You can now go and you can get them.
GameStop is way overcharging for them still.
Yeah, so you get 2 out of these list of 5 awesome games, and so I thought it was cool the fact that they did that, and there's some other stuff. And which kind of leads us into the fact of Jeff brought up the other day about game quality.
Yeah, gaming, like, of course we all know how, like, you have those gimmicky crap games for, like, the iToy and the Xbox, whatever it's called,
Sonic,
Kinect
whatever
thing,
Riders,
Sonic Riders,
Free Riders or whatever.
With the exception of those, though, gaming quality, and I think it's mostly due to the death of, like, developers like Acclaim and stuff that were really making barely mediocre games and kind of swimming with it. But gaming quality is like gone up like exponentially, pretty much, especially since
it's really matured as a market.
Since the next generation systems have come out, beginning mostly like with right at the end of the PlayStation 2 / Xbox hardware. But like almost every game that I can think of that you'd be
and not like tying like franchises, or you know, he was making about like Garfield, you know, the movie, the game to go with it, or you know, even stuff like
gimmicky stuff.
Yeah,
like
not
that.
Stuff that goes like everyone knows movie franchise licenses are normally pretty bad and stuff. But yeah, just in general, like movies, and like the point you made that was good is like normally sequels they get worse and worse because what happens is, you know, it's the corporate world. They want to make, you know, money.
Yeah,
so they make a good game, and then it makes money, so they make more, and it's not good. It's not. They lose the artistic, the innovation side. But
yeah, they
like
just
you said,
holding like the status quo, like we've talked about before.
It's like, oh, they're gonna make money because of the name.
But you have stuff where like you have Modern Warfare was major, and then you have Modern Warfare 2, and then like each installment of a series, like the Call of Duty series or the Halo series or the like Left 4 Dead or whatever it is, Portal. Each one of them gets better and better, and taking what was already there and capitalizing on it.
Yeah.
And that,
well, like Portal, for instance, it was like a 3-hour game because it was made as like it wasn't made to be a game. It was It was bought out by these guys who were doing, you know, for like their final in game school. Mm-hmm. They turned it into a game, but it was like a game that you could play like 3 hours. Well, now like Portal 2 is a full-on game.
Yeah, it's like 6 hours of game, 7 hours of gaming, and they've like added great new features, and like places like X-Play gave it a 5 out of 5, and normally sequels, especially following out really heavily hyped games, usually don't even get 3s and stuff like that. They're usually very
well, yeah, it's because it's the idea of like, oh, this was successful. It's the same thing like movies. Like you throw big actors in, and like people are gonna see it. So a lot of times, like some of the story suffers. They just make something dumb, or they just do it.
Expendables.
Yeah, because they know it's going to make money.
Anything with Jason Statham in it.
But the idea is, They are. I see it being much more of like a renaissance of games. Like you're getting more and more. Like there obviously still is the whole corporate factor, but you're starting to get a lot more of like corporate kind of not corporate. I'm sorry, that's distracting. Like artistic thing. Like there's a lot of games like Bethesda, which I always that last part gets stuck in my tongue. Epic Games. A lot of these companies where they take it personally. It's not just like Microsoft is making products and they're just engineers making stuff and they turn stuff out to make money. It's stuff like what's his name from Epic? Something B, Jimmy B, Tony B. I can't think of his name for some reason. I was just reading about it the other day. But like he's a huge gamer. He loves to be out there. He loves to be talking about the new games. He loves to do interviews. And if they put a game out that sucks, like that's not just like, well, we still made money on it. He's like, no,
yeah,
he can't.
Still bought it.
Yeah, he's like, no, he can't sleep at night. It's like, oh, that affects my celebrity status, you know. And so like, there's a lot more. It's gonna drive me crazy that I forgot his name, but there's a lot more. It seems like ownership on stuff. Like you said, some of the studios that just did whatever dying off, and there definitely seems to be, and then of course a fan following too. Like if you go to make a sequel on like the most like geeked out beloved game, like you can't just go, well, let's just make a crap something.
Yeah, like they did with with Halo. People, when it came out, it was like a Microsoft first party game. People were expecting it to suck, and when they saw that it was great and Bungie had developed this amazing game, when the sequel came out, they were expecting it to be even better, and they met it instead of it being like that weird little sequel. Although I have to say I don't like Halo 2 as much as the first, but I don't really like Halo all that much in general. But you see a lot of, I think it's also because like the competition is a lot more fierce. Like, the competition always fosters better products.
Yeah, and so if you got 2 or 3 studios who are focusing on these games as their babies rather than a moneymaker, well, it kind of raises the bar, because if you're like, oh, these guys are making these amazing games and everyone else is making sucky games or just normal games, it's like, what are you gonna buy? You know, like games are already ridiculously expensive, so it's like if I can pay $60 for this game that's like I'm gonna fall in love with, and I'm gonna like dress up as one of these characters at the next Comic Con I go to or something, or if you're like, oh, I can buy this game and it wasn't very, I'm gonna play through it in like a weekend and then never touch it again.
Return it for games.
Yeah, like what are you gonna pay $60 for? You know, like it's fine to play. Like I read a review on a Spider-Man game I was looking at getting, and they're like, oh, it's not that great, it's not horrible, it's not that great. I'm like, okay, well, I'll pay $19.99 or like at GameStop like $9.99, $7.99 for like a used game, but like I'm not gonna pay I don't pay $6 for any game. But if I was going to, like $30 is my max. Like if I'm gonna pay $30 for a game, it's gonna be like the greatest, like this game that's amazing that I'm gonna really get value out of, because I don't want to pay $30 just to go play a game for the weekend and then be done.
Yeah, it's just not profitable.
Okay, the other news story, because we're kind of running out of time here. I was trying to find. I think it's Jimmy D. I'm trying to find the thing. Whatever. It's driving me crazy, but
I'll look it up anyways.
The other story, and we'll kind of make this one quick because it kind of sucks, and as a story topic, I don't know. My throat's freezing. Actually, it's yours. The Wonder Woman. You started off.
Yeah, of course. We all know about like Wonder Woman was slated for his NBC fall show, and they aired the pilot for it. I think about a week ago.
Oh, on TV.
Or
just for like a test audience?
The execs and the test audiences and stuff, and apparently it's one of the worst shows that's ever been made. And considering that you have shows like the Sarah Connor Chronicles,
I like that.
I mean, it was good at the beginning, but
you got weird.
Like that weird.
When he fell in love with the robot.
Yeah.
You got
I don't really like Summer Glow. And so having her as a Terminator was kind of weird.
Yeah. Okay, so that's been canceled, which I don't care. Normally I'd be annoyed. Like the Aquaman, I pirated the trailer. Which is that even like illegal to steal something that's like been thrown in the garbage at that point? You know, because like they made a pilot, they decided not to release it and trashed it. Well, someone got a hold of it, put it on BitTorrent back like when I used to actually still do that, which I don't anymore for multiple reasons. And I will my wife because she was bad at it. I'm like, stop. So, anyways, they that was good. But this thing, I was like,
they made a very good decision at this point.
Yeah, because if you look at the picture, the only picture I've seen of the chick, no joke, she looks like a porn star dressed up in, like, you know, if you go down to like the costume shops, they have like the something avenue, but it's more the sexy like adult costumes. It looks like a porn star in one of those like Halloween costumes as Wonder Woman.
And like
it was like that plastic latex that you could see stretching, like when she's standing, like you can see the material stretching a little bit because it's like it's a one size fits all, and you know, and I'm like, really? That looks retarded.
Like everyone since they were like this tall knows what Wonder Woman looks like, and she has like the one-piece bathing suits with the tall like knee-high.
Yeah, but that'd be hard to do in a show. I understand they even changed it in DC, like in the comics. I understand them changing the costume, and even the design wasn't horrible. I didn't really look at it for design because I was so distracted.
I just thought the blue jeans look was kind of stupid.
It was like pleather, that plastic. But the thing is, I'm not even complaining about the design, because honestly, I didn't even get to that point of thinking of the design. The materials it was made out of looked like a cheap, like sexy Halloween costume, and it's not. It's supposed to be worn one time. You just kind of stand there and you're like, okay, and then you throw it away or whatever. And it's like, oh, remember when I dressed up as Wonder Woman? Yeah, that was funny. Not like I'm gonna be.
It's like hide those pictures, burn the pictures.
All right, well, just because we're running out of time for our first segment, we need to cut to our review. Really quick, I'm just gonna say, we can discuss it more. We'll talk about. You know what, I'll just save it for next week. Basically, Google's coming out with like its version of a netbook. We'll talk about that more next episode. So we
should talk about the tablet wars.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. We can actually just get into that a little bit more and some of the stuff and how that's going to change. So with that, we're going to switch over to our movie review.